Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And as usual, what can I say? We have another amazing guest, and it's not me. Um, I wish. Yes, I have things to say, and you've heard a lot of them. So let's hear from somebody that you haven't heard from. Her name is Nikki. And as you can read in the headline here this morning, she's an Etsy shop owner to viral digital marketing mama. Nikki, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you, Dave? I'm so happy to be here and thanks for having me. And what the heck's happening? I'm talking to Dave Sharpe here.
Wow, I wish I got that excited to talk to myself. You're very Christmassy. I see you've got your the only thing that's missing is a little Mariah Carey playing in the background. You're very seasonal there.
Oh, we got that going on too. When the kids come home, we got that going.
Nice. So tell me about what brought you into this. You were doing Etsy before, so I assume that you're
Yes.
selling some sort of homemade goods, handmade goods, something that somebody made, or that's usually what's sold on Etsy, right? Can you
You
tell
got
us a
it.
little bit about that, and then like what brought you over into this weird world of online marketing?
All right. So, I got that story. I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I have three young kids. When I had my second child, my grandma taught me how to crochet. And I thought, oh, this is cool. And I really liked it. I picked it up fast and I thought I could sell this. So, I kind of right away started up this Etsy shop and started banging out handmade knit items. And
Okay.
before I knew it, I was up to like 500 sales and I was really busy. But the kicker was that it took a lot of time to make these items because each item was handmade
Yeah.
and I could only charge so much for each item.
Right.
And the supplies cost a lot of money. The shipping was a lot of money. Like in the end, I think I was like breaking even. Like it was more of a hobby turn to a shop, but I couldn't keep up with it. Like it just wasn't
Mm.
sustainable and it didn't make sense to be keep putting my time into it.
A victim
So,
of your own success. That's weird. That's a weird conundrum to be in a business to where
yeah,
you've reached kind of max scalability.
exactly. Yeah.
You know?
That's exactly what it was. I was like, man, I can't keep up with this. I was up at like 4 o'clock just to like make orders, like make hats and scarves and stuff. And I was just
Right.
like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very, and just to pause you there for a second, we talk a lot about the kind of e-commerce or drop shipping model to where, you're buying a product for I don't know, $15 over on Alibaba, and then, you put it up for sale on Amazon and basically or you run ads for it or whatever, and then you're shipping your margins. You got to know your margins because the business is based off small margins and
Hmm.
selling a lot of products like your Walmart or Amazon. That's how they make their money. And there's no way to compete with those guys. There's
Yeah.
just no way for a mom and pop, stay at home mom, single person, even a small business, if you actually had some scalability, to keep up with the business model of selling lots of products for small profits. And
Yeah.
then you run into this issue, which is your specific conundrum, which is you've reached max scalability with your physical efforts. And that's
Right.
similar, that's similar to what I saw in lots of brick and mortar businesses, including my father's construction business. Was we reached kind of max scalability. If we had to schedule you months out in advance because we
Hmm.
couldn't take your money now because we weren't available to go do the work. And in your case, there you are at home. You've got a business that likely carried you through hard times. The C-19 thing that just came through over the past, at least I would assume that was something that helped, even if it wasn't. Regardless, now you're to a place to where your hands can't keep up with the sales,
Yeah.
and it's almost become just another kind of job, because if you're not making the things, then you're not able to sell them. And that's just a really unique situation that I think really kind of illustrates the scalability of the digital part of this business to where there's nothing that's being manufactured or shipped.
Mhm.
Everything is able to be created once in a digital format, whether it be video or in the written form, and read or re-watched or re-experienced as if it was brand new to as many people as possible over and over again. And I think that right there, when that kind of clicked for me personally back 10 years ago, I was like, okay. And it's still clicking because scalability and scaling even further and further does require growth, and it requires you to level up. But when I grasped that concept that, wow, I could make something, even a video specifically, and it could be viewed over and over again, and each very person who viewed it would get the same exact identical experience as the 5,000th person that watched it previously. And it never, it's like a little Energizer bunny salesperson that just, or whatever. It's like an Energizer product. There's actually, I don't think, ever been anything in the history of product development that is as scalable as digital products, because specifically information education products, because they're even better than any other form of education, because even the teacher, your favorite teacher, is sick, wants to retire, wants to go on vacation, is not like ultimately scalable. It's almost a form of like AI or robotics that's happening right in front of us, right? To where certain technology is taking over in a way some of the human work. But I just wanted to
Yeah.
put that, that's really fascinating. And I wonder if um, that ultimately led you, and we'll find out, to this more scalable business model. But anything to add to that I missed, or
Well,
anything?
no, you're exactly right. That physically I could only do so much, and it was very hard for me to turn sales down. So I really didn't. But all that did was just kind of backlog and delay my ETA of, delivering the product. And in the
Yeah,
end, it just ended up giving me a lot of stress. And like you said, I could only scale it so far with one person with two young kids. And so I just knew it wasn't something I wanted to keep doing.
yeah. So what happened next?
Well, my search continued.
So
Took a
your
little
eyes were
break.
open. You were kind of like, wow, this is cool, and
Yeah.
I'm open.
Oh,
I'm
yeah. Well,
sleeping with
after
one
that
eye open.
experience, I definitely knew that the online space had a lot to give to a stay-at-home mom. I mean, you really just had to find the right platform to plug into. You have to
Yeah,
find the right thing that fits your lifestyle. So I was constantly searching. Like my algorithm was slammed with online business ideas, and you know how it goes. Once you look up one thing, it's like a
yeah,
constant thing. But um, I came to this business and I was just, well, shoot, for $7, I was like, I cannot afford to not look into this, for one thing. And then once I got into the training, I just loved how it was laid out. It was so step by step. What I also loved is that it was completely self paced. So, again, as a mom, and I now have three kids, I
mm,
could pick this up and do it as fast as I wanted to, or take it as slow as I wanted to, rewatch videos. And I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Like, it's user friendly.
yeah, yeah. So the business model resonated with you as you were
Yeah.
watching those videos, just in the beginning of the challenge, or as other people were kind of talking about it, and you started to see, compare, contrast to what you'd been doing.
Yeah.
What light bulbs began to go off for you, and how have those light bulbs kind of manifested in you actually then? Because you're not on the show because you just took the course. You're on the
Yeah.
show because you actually did something with it. So, what light bulbs began to go off? What were the big ones? And then, how have you like actually put those ideas that were groundbreaking to you or attractive to you into play in a way that, like maybe you didn't know was possible? Like, oh wow, I'm actually, I was just watching the training a month ago. I can't believe I'm actually doing it now. Like
Yeah.
what, like how did things begin to move for you as those light bulbs began to go off, and what were the light
Yeah.
bulbs?
Oh my gosh. Well, when you first start getting into the training, you immediately can see the potential that this business has. So it's unlike anything else because you can see that you can, like, I know it sounds cliche, but you can literally change your life with this business because the potential is unlimited. So with other experiences, like I'm going to go back to my Etsy shop, you're completely capped at what you can do. But with this, you literally have online worldwide potential. So immediately you can see that. And then what I really started to see throughout the training is how this system is set up so strategically. You know, you have everything that is set up to create this business that just works because it's all so thought out, step by step by step by step. And that's what really drew me in. And
Yeah.
this was something that I just knew I had to do.
Well, I'm glad that you
Yeah.
you noticed that and took it all and ran with it, because
Yeah.
we have a lot of people who come in, and because of what's going on in their life, or because of maybe what they believe, or maybe because they don't trust it, and there's good reason not to
Mm-hmm.
trust things on the internet, or maybe because they lack discipline, whatever it is, they don't fully go through the process and really learn everything that they can learn and prepare themselves to be ready to take the first step. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the reason why I think a lot of people don't take the first step is because they don't feel ready to take the first step. And
Mm-hmm.
part of the reason why you don't feel ready is just because you may have been patching together your launch, and that's not a great way to do it. Meaning, let me give you an example, make it practical. A lot of people who start the challenge don't even finish it, for example. I mean, it's a
Definitely.
$7 course that you could self-pace even faster than 15 days if you wanted to. And it's that commitment. That's kind of a first test for you as an entrepreneur. It's like, can I go through and, whether I read every word? Now, I would recommend that each person reads every word, but did I take away the lessons? Did I take away the ideas? And do I understand what I'm doing? Because I say this all the time, that it's one thing to swing a hammer, it's another thing to understand how to build a house. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you're able to go and now build that house, and it looks like you've already began to here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
What
yeah,
is your what was your first steps going out in that? I know that you're on TikTok and
yeah,
Instagram. Did you jump in back into TikTok and start marketing on TikTok specifically? And then are you taking
yeah.
content from TikTok and repurposing? Like, what marketing strategy did you decide on?
Well, so I was always more comfortable with Instagram and Facebook, but with this business, I had seen, especially through the training, that TikTok was really, I mean, I would recommend that's the place to start. If you're going to start anywhere, it's TikTok, just because the reach seems to just be so much bigger and faster. So I had a TikTok account, but I think I only had like 65 followers. Like I really wasn't using it. But as soon as I launched my business, that same day I was on TikTok posting, posting, posting. And that's where I really started. And my goal was just to get to 1,000 people so I could put my link in, my profile.
Yeah.
So I take my TikToks, I save them, and I repurpose them as my reels. And then I also use those on my Facebook reels. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Nice.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I have a Facebook group, and I have a Facebook page, and I have an Instagram page and a TikTok page with, a few backups in between there because you never know what's going to happen. I have a few
Unlike your
warnings, let's just
unlike
say
your
that.
unlike your married life, right? I mean, where it's like the goal is commitment, right? In this, the goal is diversification and
Yeah, the goal is
protection.
actually don't commit. Don't get too hung up on one account because you could lose it at any time.
Multiple side chick accounts or
Yeah.
side dude accounts, whatever.
Oh, I
Right.
definitely have a few.
You
Yeah.
want those. You want those folks.
Yeah.
Um, Learning to use social media, not let social media use you, is it's a process. When we come on social media as users, it's like this big wonderland of, oh wow, I don't want to do anything wrong, or I got a notification or this or that. But as you become and you're knocking on people's doors, you don't want to, I don't want to bother you, hit a friend with a DM, you're like, excuse me. That's kind of how your energy is, right? But as a marketer, you got to be aggressive and break things. You have to know that warnings and, getting accounts flagged means you're taking a lot of action. That's what that means. I mean, there is never anybody who has come to me and said, oh God, I got a cease and desist letter. I got my account shut down. And I was like, man, what are you doing? Like, you need to be doing more. No, I'm like, hey, bro, you are on to something here. You just need to make a slight adjustment because your compliance is out of, you don't understand the current landscape with compliance right now. And for example, the current landscape right now with TikTok, for example, the landscape out there is that it's fickle. It's fickle. You can't trust it.
That's true.
They're trying to figure it out. We're trying to, nobody's got it figured out, people. Everybody's figuring it out as we go. So TikTok, this company ByteDance over in China, okay, is sitting here running this app called TikTok that's just popped up out of nowhere over the past couple of years. And I promise you, they're trying to figure it out the same way that everybody else. They never expected an explosion that would dominate and make all of the American social media companies jealous. Snapchat has plummeted. Not only use, but also mainly its stock price. So it's fickle right now. Understanding the landscape. What do we do when things are fickle? What do we do when the internet has been completely bombarded with crypto and Ponzi schemes and all these different money-making crap, and now all of a sudden, even big companies, institutional companies are failing in that big FTX crypto thing. Like, what's my point? The market is fickle and finicky right now, right? It's you have to water down your claims right now. You have to keep it extra trustworthy, meaning that don't go making big claims. Don't go making it seem as if what it's so easy that everybody can do it. Don't go out there making fun of people who have jobs as if like affiliate marketing or something is like better, because it's actually not. It's just it's actually not right for everybody. And I think I see a lot of people who become entrepreneurs, they start like talking down to everybody else. I did it for a period of time early in my career as well. Well, guess what? The market is fickle and finicky right now. People are going to just flag your shit. They're just going to say, fuck this person. They're mad. They're angry. The world
there's a lot of mad people.
The world is frustrated right now. So if you come out into the world with confrontation, if you come out into TikTok with confrontation, shaming energy, or as if you're making claims that people are like, this person sounds like he's bullshitting or something, maybe a little bit. You are going to the market right now, the world that we're in right now, the fickle, finicky kind of like, people are on edge. They're nervous. They don't really know what's going on. A lot of this stuff is new. The economy's going crazy around us. It's a time to be kind of like super consistent and almost like boring a little bit, that you like with this show. Like the reason why I'm not going crazy all over, that I got a lane that I stay in, is because this is what people need right now. They need daily, consistent, somebody showing up every day, letting them know that they're real, that they can trust it. That's why I do this show the way that I do this show. That would be a practical example of kind of like reading the market. I'm not trying to go viral like Andrew Tate and I know how to do it. I could go and be Alex Hormozy or any of these other guys who are creating tons of content on YouTube or any channel right now and going mad viral and bringing mad controversy onto themselves. But the world right now, see what happens when people do that? You get slapped, you get booted, you get canceled, you get kicked off, right? So what the world needs right now and what the marketplace wants right now what will make me the most money is consistency, and not, when the world is fickle, be or finicky and kind of like on edge, be an oak tree. And that's the people who are going to make it through this particular season of online business right now. And you're already seeing a lot of the people who are just the big hype, big claim people, big lifestyle people, Lamborghini and jets, but maybe don't have a real business behind them, are going to fade away. And so it's really for us to understand kind of how to use social media and not let social media use us. And obviously I asked you just about getting started with it, but what other ways have you created I don't know, some sort of personal boundaries or some sort of routine, or how do you handle your content so you can create it and get it out? And what has inspired the kind of type of content that you're creating? How are you bonding with your audience and delivering value to them?
Yeah. So, I mean, I really honestly try to not overthink it, because if you wanted to go and set everything up and try to make everything super perfect with every single one of your videos, you are probably not going to get a lot of videos out there on a daily basis, and B, you're not going to get as many views as you think you are just because you put more effort into it. It just doesn't equate that way. Oftentimes people just, like, you could do the fastest, honestly crappiest video and it could just really resonate with people. I think that's really the kicker there, is that people want to feel resonated with, real and just honest and like daily life. So I always have my little tripod thing, like a little stand for my phone. I carry it with me. I'll just like pop it up. Like, honestly, if I'm like at the library, I'll just like put it up, take like a 10-second video here and there. I'll have it in my kitchen. I'll have it upstairs, like in my living room, outside. I will just take videos, not constantly, but kind of constantly, so that I always have a wide variety of video to use. Not even me just talking or doing things, like me just literally like cutting something or like reading a book. And then it's just putting that to audio. And again, the audio could be trending, or it could just be audio that you like you were saying with TikTok being fickle, like it is. There's really no strategic way to make something go viral. It's just about consistency, and it's just about diversity, like trying different things. And if you feel like you're stuck at that 200 view mark, 200 views, 200 views, 200 views, and you cannot get above that, I was there 100%. But that means that at any day and at any video, you're going to have one that goes viral or that gets 500 or 1,000. Bless you. You will get there. It just means, like, honestly, that's happened with every one of my accounts. That just means you're doing something right. That just means the algorithm's working. And as far as my niche goes, I really try to cater to what I was looking for, which was a mom with her kids, everyday life, being able to provide for her family by doing this business. So really, like, I'm out there to help anyone, but I do have a soft spot in my heart for those moms that are really trying to do more for themselves and more for their families, because that's where I was coming from. And as a mom, you really get stuck in this everyday kind of monotonous life sometimes. And it's so nice to have something that just empowers you and livens you, and to be able to contribute to your family and from home and around your kid's schedule. Like, that's really cool. And it feels awesome. And I want that for all moms. Like, I really do. I want that for everyone. I just want them to know that they can do it. But again, like you said, you have to want it for yourself. And you have to at least be able to get through the training,
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, it's a great test. It's like, we really can always kind of see where we're at by like doing something and then looking back and saying, like, how did I do? And being honest.
Yeah.
If you've started other courses, if you've got a pattern of starting books and not finishing them or whatever it is. Like for me, I got a massive issue with starting like shows, series, movies, and 15 minutes into it, I get, bored, or
Yeah.
I want to get up, or, I got ADD, or I fall asleep every
Yeah.
time.
I can relate to that.
And so it's like I just know my pattern there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Now, when it comes to something that I'm really interested in, that I need to learn or I want to learn, like I needed to learn about investing in the stock market because
Mhm.
at a certain point, you need to make investments instead of just buying shit or houses or cars or whatever. Like at a certain point in each one of your career, if you continue on this journey, you'll have a home. You'll pay it off. You'll have cars. They'll be paid off. You won't have any debt, and you'll be like, okay, what now? Where
Yeah.
do I put this money? And so that had been going on, and I had been investing with a guy who was managing my money. And then I realized, golly, he's charging a lot of fees for this. Maybe I should learn at least what he knows so I can make sure that he's, earning these fees. Well, come to find out, you know, he was charging me an active management fee, and he wasn't really actively doing anything. We were just buying and holding. And I thought, well, gee, I can learn this strategy. And I learned that and so much more because I went on like a 4-month binge learning
Yeah.
where I just absolutely threw myself into just the news every day, the constant videos, constant books, and just resources and articles and conversations. And you know what? I ended up making some serious moves of moving my entire portfolio into index funds that I now fully manage, and in consultation with some friends that I have, but mostly because of what I know, not because I'm relying on anybody else. And it's a gift that I believe we give ourselves when we become new again at something.
Mhm.
When we become new again at something. I talked about this yesterday. Was so many of us, especially I think men, I don't know, we don't want to be new. We want to be in our powerful positions that look at some of these senators and these politicians. They don't want to give up their jobs. They're 85. They're like, I can't even talk, but I don't want to give it up. Um, and it's a gift to be new at something and to try something new and do something new. And so, I find that those of us who are willing to be new, to go through the process of actually learning for some reason. And again, I go back to us men. We 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 get offended and embarrassed when we have to learn anything as if we should have known it all. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I remember a generation ago where men didn't want to go to the doctor.
Mhm.
My grandfather died at 60 right after he retired in his sleep because, I mean, that generation just, they didn't go to the doctor. They just thought they should have it all, this
Yeah.
complex thing. It should just work. Going to the doctor is a sign of weakness. But man, being new and learning something again, if you're going through the challenge, going through that challenge, binge learning it. We even have students that say, oh, I want to just keep going and learning and doing all kinds of other things. They go on 50,000 distraction, rabbit holes. And then sometimes they come back to legendary. They say, whoo, whoo, glad I didn't get lost in that black hole, but I'm back here and I'd like to get started. Whatever your process looks like, as long as you allow yourself to be new and know that you are going to be new and suck for a period of time, and then you're going to get better at
Yeah.
it the more you practice and do it.
Mm.
And it's a gift. It's a gift that we give ourselves when we're new. And so what are you doing that's new right now? You've already been posting TikToks. What's your
Mhm.
next thing that you're going to challenge yourself with? What are you doing that's a little bit outside of your comfort zone, or that you're going to tackle next that's new, that you need to learn, and that it's going to hurt a little bit maybe, but it's going to be a massive growth place, and you need to do it.
Well, I continue to learn something new with this business every day. I mean, what I'm doing right now with you, that's out of my comfort zone. I mean, I've just started this business. It's been 2 months and I'm honestly just going full throttle. Like, I am constantly going back to the training and I'm constantly learning about what new social media platforms I can implement into my business just to get further reach. So, one of the new ones that I really want to tap into next is the YouTube shorts. So, it's kind of like, the reels and all that kind of thing, but it's on YouTube. So, that's like a
Yeah,
whole new platform of,
totally.
well, learning and growth that I want to experience. And
Yeah.
also from there, I'm going to dive into Pinterest as well.
Okay.
And
Great.
I'm
Those are
just really
wonderful
enjoying.
examples.
What's
I mean,
that?
those are wonderful examples. I
Oh,
mean, and in the frame that you have, I can tell is one of excitement to take on that
yeah.
challenge. And so I wonder how many of you, view are right now framing. And again, it's simply a frame. You have the identical picture in a different frame, and it's a totally different picture. Okay. Because of the frame that it's in.
Mhm.
And so I wonder how many of us are looking at something like getting on TikTok or getting started or going over and starting a group or going live or whatever, as if it's uh, uh, as if it's this kind of big scary bear. What
Yeah.
frame do you have it in? Like, how are you all looking at it? Because the way that you just described it, Nikki, was like with excitement and like, I'm going to
Mhm.
tackle this. This is a challenge. I'm going to, and that's what marketing, not just entrepreneurship, but specifically marketing is all about. Nobody has this figured out. Every marketing campaign is a test. Every commercial is a test. Every ad is a test. Every email is a test.
Mhm.
Sure, there might be some proven formulas, but at the end of the day, the next big ad is being thought of right now somewhere on a walk. Somebody's using the bathroom, taking a shower. People are in a boardroom. They're thinking of it.
Mhm.
And when it's like that, the frame that I put these things that I'm doing, these new things, being new, taking on challenges, going to different platforms, whatever it is I think the make or break factor of like how we approach it and like if we ultimately do it. So we're like, obviously, I feel like you've got a pretty strong mindset, a pretty strong perspective around this stuff.
Mhm.
Did you always have that? Is there anything that you could say about that for people who are struggling with
Yeah.
feeling a lot of like just fear and anxiety? And although what I'm saying sounds good, it's easier said than done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, social media can be a scary thing because people feel very judged because there's people coming at you
Yeah.
from all over, like views, comments, all that stuff. What I would recommend if you're just starting out and, and you're maybe a little shy or you're a little bit like, you don't really want your friends and family to see what you're doing just yet, you have your personal pages, start new business pages so that you have it completely separate. You have a completely different audience. You don't need to share with any of your friends and family if you're afraid of their judgment or what they're going to think. Don't worry about that. Start it completely new and just, I know it sounds easy, but just you have to not care what people think. You know, I mean,
It does
you just
sound easy.
can't because it's going to hold you back. Like, you
Yeah.
have to understand that if people are watching you and people are commenting on you, they're watching you and they're interested in what you have to say and you have to offer it. And you have to remember that you do have something to offer them. You're offering value, you're offering education, you're offering your skills, your knowledge to them. So
Yeah.
remember that you are the one offering something to them.
Yeah.
And they want to hear what you have to say, or maybe they don't, but either way, that's engagement for your account and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I really just think, just be yourself, have fun with it and just try to not care what people think, but
Yeah.
also just start.
Yeah.
Like, if you're holding back because you're nervous or afraid, just start posting, 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 because you will gain the confidence and you'll start to not care what people think.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you have
You'll have an F it moment or two or
yeah,
three. You know what I
exactly.
mean? You really
Yeah.
will. Like, that's what it really boils down to. I wish that it was like this magical, like the skies part, stone tablets come down, and it's like, here's your courage, or here's your bravery, or you know what I mean? You have arrived,
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh.
It's like,
Cause
but you basically, you just like have a like, you know what, fuck it.
yeah.
It
Cause it
really
is what
is.
it
I mean,
is.
it's a fucking moment. You're sitting there
Yeah.
in front of the camera, you realize your lipstick's smeared, or you got a, I don't know, you got a huge pimple on your face, and it's not getting hidden by the I've put on makeup. I mean, look, I mean, you know, my pimple's not being hid by my own makeup. I mean, whatever it is. I remember when I was walking my dog 12 years ago or so, and I was getting ready to do a webinar, and I was stuck in that imposter syndrome. Didn't want anybody
Mhm.
to know who I was, a fear of they were gonna call the cops on me. You know what I mean? Basically, I thought I was just a bad person. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh my God, like, well, what am I even doing trying to do business? And high school dropout, recovering addict. I'm thinking I'm the, nobody's ever gonna listen to me. And I was walking around the neighborhood walking my dog, and I heard Jeffrey Combs, this sales trainer, tell this story about alcoholism and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. So I went right on that webinar that I had scheduled
Yeah.
that night. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, and it came out, all over the place and mishmashed. And, people thought I was probably a wreck, but they loved it. They were like, oh my God, to think about 12 years ago. I mean, it wasn't really yet super cool, and nobody
Yeah.
was, I'm not gonna say nobody, but I mean, it was less popular to be so, I guess, transparent. Authenticity was not like the most
Yeah,
popular
definitely.
thing. You know what I mean? And everybody now is authentic online, and it's like,
People are a little too open now.
yeah. So you know what's interesting is the same thing happens today, because that's one thing that's never gets, what do they call it, saturated, is somebody coming with a powerful marketing message that resonates with people. And it
Mhm.
doesn't always have to be a personal story. I mean, there's been, like, for example, commercials, or like the Apple commercial where it was like, I think that it was like think different or something. There has been marketing campaigns over time that have like just sent tidal waves through the world
Mhm.
in taking products to the moon, really. So it's and they had nothing to do with somebody's personal story, but it was just for me, I needed to have a moment to where I could say, okay, I need to stop holding back, was what I needed to do. And it's probably what you need to do too, is stop holding back, because I was sort of afraid of my power in a way. I knew I had this kooky craziness inside of me, but society labels you and makes you a bad person, a loud person, a class clown, all these things because of your unique traits. That's what happened to me, anyways. Maybe somebody can relate to being the quiet girl, or the shy girl, or the pretty girl. The world puts labels on us. So then
Mhm.
we think that that's how we have to be, and because I was the fuck up, I thought I was a fuck up, right? So that was the late. So I needed to have an effort moment to where I could stop holding my uniqueness back, and I could really let it, meaning my personality, meaning my stories, meaning my quirkiness, my own style, right? Each one of you has your own style, voice, way in which you tell stories, way in which you laugh. And I was holding that back. And when I had that effort moment and let it go, things began to go better for me. Not only was I more comfortable, but people were resonated more because they
Yeah.
could tell that I was being more honest. And now it's even more so that I think people have built-in bullshit detectors out there, and they're looking for people who have had their effort moments. I think people nowadays are looking for people who have had their I don't care anymore moment. And because if you haven't had that and you're still putting up walls and you're still trying to manage your image and you're still trying to do PR for yourself all the time, including in your content, I just think that, you know, people are the market is, they've seen so much content that doesn't work anymore. I think that was a sign even when reality TV started to pick up, that people were looking for less acting and more reality.
Yeah.
But then, of course, reality turned into acting too. But you're taking your phone in various places around your house,
Yeah.
which helps you to integrate it into your daily routine and also kind of bring people into your life, and you know, give them a look in and help them connect more with what you're doing.
Mhm.
I so I think that's one way in which you're kind of embracing the integration. But I also love the tip that you said about creating new profiles. As
Yeah.
many as you want, folks. Create as
Yeah.
many as you want. There is no law, there is no rule, there is, at least that I know about, that says that you can't have as many accounts on as many platforms as you want. I've never personally heard of that rule. So
Yeah.
create as many accounts as you need. People call them burner accounts. I mean, you know, but just the point is that the other thing you said, Nikki, was the more you do it, the better you get at it. And there's really no shortcut to that. You know, nobody can sell you in any course or coaching program the skill that you're automatically going to be good on video. Nobody can do that. Doesn't matter how many done for you programs you buy. Doesn't matter what XYZ guru promises that you're going to do or be after you buy their thing. You're going to have to eventually walk through doing the thing.
Yep.
And there's no way around it. And the more that you listen to the people who are like, it's not your fault, you're a victim, you know, you just need another done for you program, you just haven't found the right mentor yet. That's all enabling bullshit that is actually going to keep you stuck in that rut of never thinking that you're enough alone
Mhm.
yourself to do this thing. And that's my whole message. I know mentor coach is something, but I don't really want to be anybody's mentor, because then you start giving me power that I don't deserve. When my job, a real mentor's job, a real coach, helps you to go inside and realize that you had something in there that you didn't know that you had, and that you can actually do what you didn't think that you could do.
Yeah, that's the cool thing.
So
Yeah. I think that
salute.
if you have a unique story, or if you have a struggle, and if you're willing to share it, that you are going to connect with your audience more, and that you are going to be able to, you know, relate with more people and really show them what's possible, and just embrace your uniqueness, embrace your struggle, embrace your story, and put it out there. Because you're not alone. People will relate to you. There's going to be so many people coming at you with the same story, and then you have like your own community. Like, it's
Yeah.
very empowering.
And look, how many of you, Stan, thanks for your comment. I have been trapped in that. I needed this speech done buying the next shiny object. It's like, man, how many of us are stuck in this online marketing, you know, never ending bullshit cycle of, you get into the algorithms, you get into the,
Mhm.
you know, you get into the email list, you get into all this stuff. You got all these people in your ear who are telling you the only thing that you need is one more coach, it's one more mentor, it's more support, it's all this bullshit. And it's just more shit. It's honestly more stuff, more things you have to do, more people you have to listen to. When everything that you need to hear the truth is throughout the episodes of Wake Up Legendary and inside our training that we've made. And I'm not saying that we're the only ones in the world who are doing it, but I'm not. I got tired of trying to listen and find it amongst the noise. So I said, hey, I'm going to create it. And I challenge you to create it for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. If you think you can do it better and you want to create a community, that's fine. Do it. Go create your own course. We teach you how to do it. But the truth is that simplifying, slowing down, and just listening to, you know, the shit that hurts to hear, the stuff you don't want to hear. That's the stuff that you need to hear. For me too. You know, I was getting clean from heroin back in 2008, and it was the court systems, cops, everybody's fault. And I luckily had a couple of guys that sat me down and told me to take the cotton out of my ears and put it in my mouth and learn how to listen and learn and be a learner, because I didn't know how to live clean in the same way that many of us don't know how to live free. Living free means that, I mean, we want freedom, but then we want somebody to tell us exactly how to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's this story that who was it? Who was the piano? Maybe it was Mozart that began writing. Did he write symphonies? Was he a composer? Anyways,
I think so.
Somebody came to me, or came to a fellow, I guess another teacher, and said, "Oh, why can't I learn? Mozart did. He started when he was 14." And the guy said, "But Mozart wasn't asking anybody how to do it. He just did it on his own, took it upon himself." And if we want freedom, then we have to be willing to do what it takes to get it. And the first thing is that you have to do what's already laid out for you in the most simplest form, which in this case is, like our challenge, like going through the challenge. Like, I'm not speaking in big, complicated things right now. It's the way to get freedom is to actually be willing to do the work, be willing to do the work, and having a mentor that's going to do it for you, or a done for you system that's going to do it for you, or the gosh, the big thing online is, well, I didn't get the support that I need. So that becomes the excuse to keep buying and getting sold on more crap and all this stuff. And it's like, I tell people, look, commit here, commit somewhere else, but just commit, because that's the best thing that you can do for yourself, is just fully commit and go all out with no reservation. It's kind of like a relationship. Like, so many of us quit before we've given it our all. And that's what I've learned in my marriage, is like, I've been ready to give up so many times, but it's like, I didn't give it my all. There's more I could learn. There's more I could do, And so I think that for a lot of us, and I'm getting ready to go to a mastermind this weekend and talk to, there'll be almost 100 people from this community there who are part of the mastermind and are going to be in that room. And, it's each one of us has individual dreams, and we're here for specific reasons, but the formula is always the same. It doesn't matter why you came, or ultimately really what you want on the other side, whether it's like money, or you want time for, whatever these things are that are your goals, the getting there is the same. The getting there is the same. It's like everybody has to walk through the same front door. In this business, there's no silver spoons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to do the work.
You got to do the work. So anyways, I'm ranting like hell. I guess I'm getting warmed up for the mastermind this weekend. You know what I mean? But thanks for giving me personally so many talking points. What do you want to leave the audience with this morning that is on your head or heart, that you want to make sure that you say before we wrap up, that they could take away from your journey?
One thing I really want to say is that when you do sign up for the challenge, you did it for a reason. So there was a specific reason. There was something that drew you to that challenge. There was something you resonated with, a goal in mind, a long-term plan, something you want to accomplish. And what would happen if you gave yourself the gift of finishing that challenge? You started it for a reason. Maybe by day 4, you got a little, but what would happen if you kept going and pushed through and finished it and came out the other side? I mean, you started it. What would happen if you finished it? Like, I think you just owe that to yourself. At the very least, see what you can get out of it. Because if you come out the other side with a completely different mindset, And with all this knowledge and the tools and the education and all the community and support, like this can completely change your life. I mean, at day 4, you're not going to accomplish anything, but at day 15, this could take you to the next level. And it could really help you to accomplish the goals that you really want to set out for yourself. Maybe you want to provide for your family. Maybe you want to quit your 9 to 5. Maybe you want to save for retirement. Like, this can do it for you. You just have to want it, and you have to put in the effort. Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I heard the Canada come out right there. I actually didn't
Did you?
realize the whole conversation that you're in Canada until just this last moment. So that's really cool. Well, hey, Nikki, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun, and I hope I get to talk to you again for another follow-up session in the near
that'd
future.
be great.
Maybe we'll do it at the beginning of 2023.
Awesome.
Cool. That's only a month
Thank you
away.
so much for having me. It's been fun.
All right, cool. Well, hey, great work. You should be proud of yourself. I am. I mean, really great work, great job. And give our best to your family, and we'll talk to you soon. Stay legendary. Okay.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Whoops. Took Nikki off the screen. I'm technically challenged this morning, but took me off the screen, but not Nikki. All right, my friends. Listen, this show is all about really showing you that this is it's a process. It's not a, I get it right the first time every time. We want to talk about things that help you to realize that you're not alone with the things that you're experiencing, the feelings that you're having on this journey. They're completely normal. No matter if you're freaking out, full of fear, full of anxiety, full of doubt, those things are all absolutely normal. If you're nervous as hell, it shows that you care. It's not doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It doesn't mean that you're going to fail. It means that you care. So put it in that frame and use the emotions and the energy that you have from those emotions to channel them into something productive, and you will be amazed at what you accomplish. All right, my friends, again, we've got a mastermind coming this week. We're going to be in Orlando on Friday. We're probably going to stream the show live from the mansion in Orlando on Friday, so make sure that you tune in. But of course, we'll also be back for another episode tomorrow. See you then. Peace.